Okay, going to replace the seals on this AGS PCR1. Last time it was actually serviced was at the Webley dealership when it was in Birmingham, and that is probably about 6 years ago now. So I've ordered some new seals from Bagman and Kirkwood from Newcastle on Tyne, and I'm going to fit them there. So first up, remove the scope. Nice little auto scope, this one. It's a HD 3B9 I40 nil dot. So that's the scope off. Next will be, hang on, next one down I think. Yeah. Remove the two safety mechanisms, one on either side of the stop. This one came with two different stocks as well. This is the thumb hole, and there's more of a skeleton stock with it as well. And the next one to remove is just where the trigger guard is. Just make sure that's the right. That's a bit bigger than that. That's the one. So that's the stock off the mechanism. You can see that there, the bolt just unscrews. There's two Allen nuts on the trigger block. Okay, and take off the silencer. And then the barrel band. It's a bit smaller, that one. That's it. So you've got a grub screw on two sides. Just slides off. Put the grub screw back in so don't lose it. Right. Just have a look towards the block. Just put the probe back in. Pull that back. You can see, I don't know if you can see that. There it is. Hang on. better view of this. There's a small screw just in front of the pellet probe. That needs coming out. You'll also see there's a screw on the end of the breech, just there, and 2 grub screws there that will hold the barrel in, so they need coming out. The actual air cylinder has been emptied of air, so don't have to worry about that. Now this, when this comes out, it is under tension at the back. And the hammer spring is just there. So that's a new hammer spring. I can take the bolt off. And the little screw here. That's coming out now. Now what I did on this one, I actually sanded it down a bit because it was a problem on the rifle that the pellet would get stuck on it and it would flip the pellet over. So I took it out and I fired a bit off the top of it, so it's a lot smoother now. Let's see if that'll come out. Yeah. So that's the air tube and the breech come off. There's the actual transfer port. There's a small O-ring just inside there, if you can see that. That's got to be replaced. And there's one inside there as well. So they'll be replaced. Also, what you got to watch here is there's a little spring there that comes off, and that holds a little washer thing, metal washer. There, that's part of the guide for the pellet probe. Strangely enough, the probe don't come out the back on this. I think the only place it can go is forward. So I've got to do is take the barrel out. There's 2 grub screws holding that. That's going to be quite a tight fit, I think, the barrel. But I need to get the pellet probe out anyway, and I've got a feeling that'll go straight through the block. It's the only way it can go. Then I can replace the actual the probe seal, which is there, and this is 2-2. So that'll be the next thing, is try and get the barrel off. Right, as I say, the barrel, I've undone the 2 grub screws on it. Wasn't sure if it's a screw fit or just a basic push on. But after a bit of pressure protecting the barrel, it's just pushed on. Okay. So that's all needs lining up when it goes back in. That's for the transfer port straight into the barrel. And that's where it fits within the breech block. So hopefully now this pellet probe will be able to come out, and it does look. It's unusual that coming out through the front rather than the back. So I'll be replacing the pellet probe O-ring there, because what I did notice the other day, it was squirting air at me, and that's probably where it's coming from. So that'll be replaced. The O-ring on the barrel will be placed between the O-ring and the breech block, which is just there, I believe. That one there, yeah. Right, well, I've got to get the hammer out next. So there's a little thing sticking out the top, which locates onto the pellet probe to cock it. So that needs coming out, and I'm about to get the hammer out then. It's got a little slot in the top to undo it. And the hammer slides out the back. That's the hammer. What we'll do, I'll screw that back onto the hammer so we don't lose it. So that's the barrel, the breech block out. Alright, I've got plenty of O-rings. Get the pellet probe one done first, I think. I'm sure this is where the leak was coming from. So that's the pellet probe. It's very small if you look at that. So based on that, this is a replacement for it if you look at it side by side. Okay, I'm putting the rifle back together. What I did find was the actual seal kit that I was sent was for the actual Logan Eagle, and not the AGS PCR1. So the pellet probe O-ring didn't fit, but I managed to find one that does off of a Crossman 1377 transfer port. So that's taken place of what should have been. So I'll start putting the rifle back together. I'll put the transfer port O-rings in. So I'll put the barrel back in now as well. First, I've got to get the actual pellet probe back into the rifle, and it basically goes through the front end of the breech block, which you probably saw earlier on. So that's gone in. What I'll do now, turn that over. That's when the barrel goes in. The barrel has to line up. So that's a barrel in. If you can see there, I don't know if you can see it on it or not, there's a little ball bearing. You've got to make sure you don't lose that. What you get a little spring that goes on there, and you get a little metal washer that goes on top. Right, I'm going to start off by putting the hammer back in the rifle. And that's the little screw that locates into that. Alright, if you can see, got to line up the transfer port with that, and I'll make sure the bolt's forward a bit. As I say, that all has to line up. Just push the bolt forward. What's spinning around? I think what I'll do, I'll screw the bolt back on so that I can keep an eye on where the bolt is. Pull it forward. Okay, tightened up the grub screws for the barrel. What I'll do now, put the hammer spring in. Okay, so that's that bit done. I'll put the barrel band back on there. Two grub screws on either side that you tighten up. Put the trigger block back on. that. So that's back to working order. So all I need to do now, just put the action back in the stock. Let's trigger guarding nut first. That. And that's followed by the actual safety catch. Just screws in, one on either side. Pushes in, on and off. And finally, just put the moderator back on it. Finally put the scope back on. The most important thing is to now chronograph it to make sure it's under 12 foot-pounds. So that will be the final part of this project.
Drop the bomb.